What's up, everybody? Come on in here. It is Thursday night, and we are happy to have you. Welcome to Martin's Always Right. One of us is going to be right. It's just by default.
It's always me.
That's exactly what he thinks, so I'm going to let him have it right now.
Y'all already know what it is.
Anyway, hope you had a great week so far. Tonight we are talking about non-negotiables. Non-negotiables. So as you are logging in and getting ready and being a part of this conversation, make sure you're ready to join the conversation and think about what your non-negotiables are. Hey sis, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, I can't complain.
Hey Siri, I'm not talking to you.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Siri straight up in the conversation. Hey, finish up so we can get going, so you can log in and lock in on what we're talking about. This conversation is not just for people in relationships. This conversation is for people who desire to be in relationships, people who have come out of relationships, people who are done with all the ships. And I was watching a pretty awesome therapist earlier, Dr. Anita Phillips, who a good friend of mine recommended on IG Live, and she was making some amazing points that we have to give just as much attention to our friendships as we do our relationships. Yes, she is polite. She is polite, sis. But I took heed to what she was saying. I was really listening today. And so when we talk about non-negotiables today, we're approaching it from the point or the lens of marriage, but we're really talking about non-negotiables in all things. Like, you have to have some standard for how you allow people to treat you, how you allow people to interact with you. So it's critical.
All right, I'm done. I done tagged enough people.
All right. So, like I said, welcome. It's Thursday night with Martin's Always Right.
And I'm always right.
Yep. We're so glad to have you. The therapist's name is Anita Phillips. My knee is not feeling good, so I didn't want your pressure on it. Nothing personal.
What happened to your knee?
It's sore.
Why?
Because it is.
Why?
I don't know. So we're going to get right into it, to what non-negotiables are. So when we think about non-negotiables, what does that make you, like, what comes to mind? Not what are they, but what do you think, what comes to mind when you think of that?
When I think of non-negotiables?
Yeah.
Just things that you must have in any ship that you dealing with. Whether that's relationships, friendships, kind of like some ground rules on how this is gonna operate.
Okay.
And things that you must have.
Okay. I think it's critical when we talk about non-negotiables. You have to first be comfortable in setting those with yourself first before you communicate those non-negotiables to somebody else. Would you agree?
I kind of think you gotta know who you are and kind of like know what your non-negotiables are.
That's
kinda,
what I just said.
Kind of like, I don't know if you have to. I didn't like the way you worded it, but yeah, okay. It's cool.
Whatever. Anywho, so when we think about non-negotiables, I'm going to give an example of like a non-negotiable for a friend. So for my friends, if you're my friend, then you have to understand that I may or may not call you every day. So one of the things that has to be a non-negotiable for our relationship is you have to know that I cannot be committed to calling you every day. Whether it's, I may think about you every day, but I may not be able to just commit to being in constant communication with you. But I need to be confident in knowing that whatever it is that we left off on, that we can pick right back up with it. So it's critical for me to know that if you're my friend, you're not going to judge me on the basis of me not talking to you every single day.
Every day seems a bit much, to be honest. I kind of like, I kind of agree with you, but I've never told anybody that, hey, I'm not going to talk to you every day. I kind of like, my real friends, they kind of know. Like, when I hook up with my real friends, it's like we never left.
What about your fake friends?
My fake friends?
Yeah, you keep classifying the real friends, so there must be some fake ones.
Well, I mean, you have real friends and you have associates.
Oh, so then your real friends are just your friends and your associates are your associates.
I mean, I guess yeah. I mean, but when you put real on it, kind of like give it another level of quality. But I get it. You know, you got friends and you have associates, to keep it simple. So my friends understand that we don't have to talk every day. But when we link up, we link up. But that's not something I ever told him. Like, I didn't explain it like, yo, bro, we ain't gonna talk every day now. But you still my dude. Like, I rock with you.
Okay, I was just giving an example of what I have to communicate with my friends. Not saying it has to be something that you communicate with your friends. So what would be your own example? Don't use mine, because that doesn't apply to you. What would be an example for you?
What I was saying was, that's the thing about non-negotiables. Some are implied, some are stated.
No, non-negotiables are stated. That's what makes it a non-negotiable, because that's what many people miss. You're talking about an expectation. That's a difference. Okay. A non-negotiable is something that is communicated and is intentional and is very specific, because you want to make sure this person understands that this is a non-negotiable, hence the title. So what, in the realm of friendships, would be a non-negotiable?
Being able to hold on to information.
Okay.
Like, that's a non-negotiable for me. Like, if I come to you and confide in you, the buck stops there.
Okay.
Like, boom. I really don't care, honestly, if you discuss my scenario with someone else. Like, you know, a friend of mine, blah, 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 or dude I know, he did this. If that's your talking point, cool. But when you go to saying, man, let me tell you what D did. He did this, he did that. That is like, we can't have that, period. Because, like, we'll get into a discussion, and if I'm talking about something, I could tell a story without ever telling who it happened to, where it came from, things of that nature. If you just have to tell it. For me,
I just prefer a friend not tell my business at all. I don't even want you skirting around it or giving scenarios using my scenario. Like, I hate that. I think that's untrustworthy.
I mean, hey, you feel how you feel. I'm just saying, I'm not going to attack somebody who did that. But, like, if I tell you something and confide in you, I expect for it to stop.
Okay, guys, what about you all? What are some non-negotiables when it comes to friendships? So we're going to kind of work up our way from talking about it from the perspective of friendships and then moving into relationships. What are some non-negotiables when it comes to friendships? Alex said being able to tell people something in confidence and not hearing it again. But he is willing to allow a person to use his scenario. Whereas if I tell you something in confidence, I don't want you using my scenario. Just don't talk about it. Keep it to yourself. And my non-negotiable is knowing that, you know, while I may not be present every day, that I'm still a present friend. So what are some non-negotiables that you guys consider to be critical for friendships? And then we'll go ahead and, like, jump into some non-negotiables for relationships. So we're going to start with Alex. What are your non-negotiables when it comes to relationship, marriage?
You go first.
Nope.
I just went first last time.
You actually didn't. I went first.
No, I went first.
Nope, I did. But thank you, though.
I'll give you one. One is faith. Religion. Like, we have to share the same God. That's for me. Okay. Not for somebody else. We don't have to be in the same walk. We don't have to be in the same space, same phase, but we have to have, for me, we have to have the same deity. Like, I couldn't really marry somebody who didn't share my faith. Like, I could date you, I could kick it with you, but I don't see myself marrying somebody who didn't share my faith. Like, that's a walk.
That's a good one.
That I would want to walk together.
That's a good one. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I thought I'd already removed it.
What is it?
It was the logo was still up. So Aisha says loyalty. So does Shanika Nicole. They both harp on loyalty because I can see it.
Where?
On my phone.
Oh, I was just wondering.
So loyalty is critical for them to be able to have friendships. Nayoka says, me being vulnerable with you and use that against me to gain leverage in an argument. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. That's a critical one when it comes to friendships and relationships. On the friendships perspective, is like, when you're with your friends, you experience some of your most intimate pieces, but then if somebody comes back and uses that against you, it's hard. It's even worse when you're in a relationship and you confide in your mate about trauma or anything that has ever happened to you, and then they use that against you. It can be detrimental to the relationship. So, and Shanique Nicole, thank you so much for that tip. Alex said his non-negotiable is that you have to serve the same deity. So that's a good one, faith. For me, that would be probably on my list, but I would have to say a non-negotiable for me in relationships is don't embarrass me. Like, let me be more specific. I need choice. And by that, when I say I need choice, like, don't make decisions for me. So in not making decisions for me, don't do things that are going to affect my livelihood, affect my health, affect my mental well-being, and not give me a choice in the matter. Like, I have a real problem with people making decisions selfishly and not considering their mate. Like, I've seen it in relationships. I've experienced it in relationships. So that's a really, really big one for me is not making sure that it's a non-negotiable. You have to make sure that I have choice in the way that our life is going and some kind of input on where we're going with whatever we're doing. What's another one?
Like, don't steal from me. Like, that's major. Like, women do it.
You dated women that stole from you?
Yeah, women do it all the time.
Oh.
Like,
What'd they steal? Clothes?
money
Money. From where?
from your man.
Okay.
It happen all the time. Like, for me, it's big on, like, if we got money together and then you use our money for all the stuff that you want to use it for, because I'm always going to have a separate account from our money and then my money, and she's always going to have, she not being you, another woman, is going to have her account and then our money. So you use our money for everything, but then if I use our money for anything, it becomes an issue. For example, I'll give you an example. Like, you go to the mall, swipe our card for whatever you went for. I don't care. I go to the mall, swipe our card for whatever I went to the mall for. And then you want to have a sit down and talk to me about me spending out of the joint account when I have my own independent account, when you've done it 100 times. So then in my eyes, I feel like, so you're going to spend all our money on the crap that you want while saving your individual money. But you want me to always spend my individual money. Don't spend the house money or the group money on anything but XYZ.
That's a good one.
When you can spend it on
What's
anything.
funny is you've never communicated that with me, and that's never been something I've done. But that's an awesome non-negotiable. I wish that's something, even though that doesn't apply to me, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's a really
But
good
you thought
one.
it was going to be a bad one?
No, it's just like, for me, that's why I was like, when you was like stealing, I'm like, first of all, who steals from you? Because you've been married for 5 years. We've been together for 6 years. We've had a joint account for 6 years. So I'm like, there's never been an instance of me stealing anything from you.
Yeah.
Ever. So I just found it interesting that that's a non-negotiable. Like, for me,
You don't do it. So why don't, it's the same thing as if I don't call you in a long time, it doesn't mean I'm not your friend. Like, I don't ever tell my friends that.
Right.
Like,
Right, but we're talking about in relationships. So with non-negotiables, they should at least be applicable, in my opinion.
They are applicable. Like, you never broke that particular situation, so I didn't never have to address it. Yeah. If you have a non-negotiable that someone already does,
then you check that off and you make sure that you have another one in place for it.
No, it's still there. You just do it all the time. You remove your non-negotiable just because people...
No, it's not removed. It's like, okay, that's an established non-negotiable. Let me address some other things. But that's just me, so I feel you. Shanika Nicole, you know I hate a liar. Oh my gosh. Somebody who is very misleading or withholding information purposely. You said something. You said, folks don't realize how detrimental that embarrassment piece is. It's almost worse than cheating or lying. I totally agree. There's nothing worse. Like I told my husband, there is so much that we can overcome if I know beforehand. With people seeking to say whatever they want to say about you, that's fine if I've got the gun, if I'm the person who knows what's going on. It's extremely disrespectful for somebody to walk up to me and provide me new information about my marriage or my spouse or even about myself, and I don't know. That goes into that embarrassment. That goes into that, that critical piece. For me, another non-negotiable is like communication is key. I am a quality time, words of affirmation person. I told you that. I say that all the time. So for me, if we don't have communication, it makes things very difficult. Like it makes it hard to navigate through your relationship because it's like you're not talking, you're not doing anything. So that's a non-negotiable for me to be able to function and not have that piece that addresses the communication aspect. So disrespect, I'm with you, Nyoka. Like disrespect is definitely a non-negotiable. And what I learned, like the two of us have completely different definitions of disrespect. So what I believe to be disrespectful, he doesn't believe to be disrespectful, and vice versa. So I think if disrespect is one of your non-negotiables, it has to be something just like the others that you're communicating about on the regular, and that you're kind of laying some groundwork about what does this disrespect look like. What is it that we're saying, and how are we going to overcome this if we come into an issue with it? Or if we come against a wall, how do we get over it? That's critical. Yes, sis, we definitely are very similar in personality. Communication is a must in our relationships. Like, you have to be okay with saying, this is what... Oh my God, that stunk. That burp.
Who burped?
Yours.
For real?
Yes.
You just gonna call me out on camera like that?
Oh my God! If you could have did it that way,
I'm gonna let everybody
please do, because that was
disgusting. I got something for you. You dirty, Cole.
I wasn't trying to be dirty. Like I was literally eating it. You did it, and it came in my mouth. Like
really?
Was it? Yes.
Okay.
You didn't smell it?
I ain't holding no more farts while we on camera.
Since when did you start holding farts when we was on camera?
I ain't farted on live ever, but I got you tonight though.
Whatever you feel is best for you. So, making sure that you understand like how to communicate with your partner is critical. So when you have non-negotiables that says, disrespect is something I won't tolerate, you need to know and you need to communicate with your partner what that disrespect looks like, because a person will take little jabs at you and say that they're not disrespecting you, but the whole while that's what their intent is.
I don't think it's people's intentions to be disrespectful.
You've told me many times that you intended to hurt me or intended to say stuff.
There's a total difference between intending to inflict harm, intending to get under somebody's skin, intending to incite a reaction, than it is to disrespect somebody. They're two totally different things.
We can agree to disagree.
So what I'm saying is, like, disrespect has to be defined, because we run into disrespect on a lot of levels. Like, I feel you disrespectful in the way you talk to me, and is when you speak to me in a matter-of-fact manner, as if I really have no options, no choices. What you say goes, and screw how I feel or my input. So I feel like you being disrespectful. You didn't curse me, you didn't yell at me, you didn't do any of that, but you spoke to me as if I was a child.
You do that to me all the time.
And I ain't asked you that.
I'm just saying, like, it goes both ways.
What that got to do with what I'm talking about? Disrespect?
No, I feel you, but here's the thing, and let me make this very clear. When we're talking about disrespect, like, you're naming the things that you feel are disrespectful, and you feel like they're disrespectful. However, that is a behavior that you do often.
You totally missed it, Zach.
I didn't miss you at all.
For one, you said we weren't gonna be involved in this.
Intentionally getting under someone's skin is disrespect. It equals disrespect.
No, it's not.
It really does.
It ain't disrespect.
It's disrespectful to intentionally get up under somebody's skin.
That's aggravating somebody, getting on their nerves. That ain't disrespectful.
Hey, Kiana Pate, I didn't know you was in here. That's definitely disrespectful to get on somebody's. I wouldn't even say to get on somebody's nerves. No, that's not disrespectful. Getting on someone's nerves is not disrespectful. But intentionally jabbing somebody or with the intent to provoke anger or to provoke anguish, that is disrespectful.
Anguish is something totally different from to get a reaction. Like,
that's disrespectful.
If you say something, everybody got a hot button. Like Papa say on here, Pap say Atlanta is my hot button. What did he say yours was? Keisha's.
Today I stand with Keisha, so I got no beef with Keisha's. Representing my soror and solidarity.
What are you talking about?
It's a social media thing. It's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, anyway, so if I say something about Keisha's and I know you're going to react, it's not disrespectful.
Thank you, sis. Couture put it very eloquently. Don't give me your ass to kiss. Don't do that. So a person intentionally getting up under someone's skin is extremely disrespectful.
That is not disrespectful.
People will. Shanique Nicole said it best. Some of us will ruin a whole relationship just to prove a point, or will ruin a whole day just to prove a point. Victor says, if I get yelled at during the conversation, is over. That's disrespectful to me. Might as well turn a brick into a loaf of bread at that point. I am so with that. D'Alex knows when he starts yelling and talking loud or talking crazy, I shut down. And then he gets mad at me because now I've shut down. Like, he gets mad at me for shutting down, and it's like, I don't have a response for you. He's like, don't you hear me talking to you? Don't you hear me saying that? You ain't got nothing to say. As if I am a child. And so I just look at him with my doe-like eyes, and I can't respond because it ain't nothing for me to say at that point. Ronnie says, I don't think it's disrespectful. You're just pushing buttons. But pushing buttons is disrespectful.
Man, pushing buttons ain't disrespectful.
It says, by my loving kindness have I drawn thee. If
I
you
ain't
are,
Jesus.
No one asked you to be Jesus. But you talk, your first non-negotiable was faith.
Yeah.
So, are you going to not even try
to
live
out
the words of the Bible?
But I ain't Jesus.
No one asked you to be Jesus. But no one asked you to be a jerk either.
When I'm outside of my Jesusness, I might press the button.
Then you always live outside of Jesus?
No, I don't always press your button.
Okay.
What? I don't. I let you live a lot. See what I'm saying? You always paint me as that guy.
I don't paint you as anything, babe.
As that guy.
I've never once made you out to be a monster. Ever. Now, you've painted some negative pictures of me, and I'm okay with that. I'll take all onus of whatever. No, you didn't.
Have I lied on you?
Many times.
For real?
Yeah.
When I lied on you?
Calling me an interrogator. I'm not a lie. I'm not an interrogator.
What do you call it?
When's the last time I interrogated you? No, answer the question.
Ain't no. Just
because here's the thing. Because what you once were, whatever somebody believes you once were, you don't believe, you are not of the mind that a person can change.
I believe a person can
you
change.
Don't.
Yes,
because you don't treat me as if I change.
Yes, I do.
Whatever. So Shanique Nicole says, my problem is that I'll shut down for a few days or a week at a time. I used to be like that. I don't take that long, Shanika, to shut down, because it's like, for me, especially while the girls are gone, I don't have anybody to talk to if I shut down for that long. So it makes me very lonely, and I don't really have much to do with myself at that point. Marilyn says, yelling makes me ignore everything else. Until you can be an adult, we have nothing else to talk about. I agree with you 1,000,000%.
Only kids raise their voice.
Only kids yell to try to get their points across.
Oh, okay. Just remember that. No problem.
Okay.
So everybody that yells is childish. Got it.
You said that. No one said that.
No, she just said, when you can lower your voice and speak as an adult.
She said, until you can be an adult, we have nothing else to talk about.
But she said, yelling makes, what did it say?
Yelling makes me ignore everything else.
Until you can be an adult.
Mika said, I'm definitely a yeller.
So you
but Mika, you also are an avid communicator, so you know how to go and have that conversation.
So you
can talk about my life.
So you just gonna just swim right past the fact that Mika yelled.
Mika said I'm a yeller.
Yeah, and she's an avid communicator.
She is a communicator. She's not gonna shut down and talk, but she talk loud in normal conversation just like you.
But you say I be yelling.
Sometimes you are yelling, D'Alex.
But I'm loud.
You're loud when you're loud, but when you're yelling, you're clearly yelling because this vein right here pops.
I don't have a vein.
Oh, you do. You've never seen it because you're usually yelling at me and not yourself. When you go yell at yourself in the mirror, you'll see the vein.
I've done it before.
Oh, okay. You've yelled at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
I'm dealing with some other kind of issues here, people, that I did not know about. Non-negotiables, mental health. Ronnie says, I don't play that yelling mess. I'll look at you and look through you like you don't even exist. At that point, I don't yell and don't like yelling. I'm with you.
But you do yell.
Why did I start yelling?
I don't give a crap. Why you started yelling?
No one asked if you care about why I started. Why did I start yelling?
You said because I yell.
Yeah.
And
I had to meet you where you are.
But
and what did I do after I made my point with the yelling? I don't yell anymore at you. When's the last time I yelled at you? Seriously.
We've been good.
You've yelled at me this week.
That's a lie. When?
I was sitting on the toilet and you yelled at me the other day.
When?
You don't remember that?
No.
You went off.
What'd I say?
I'm not finna repeat it, but you went off like bad. Yes, you did.
That's
maybe
a lie.
That was this week.
No,
it was Monday.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
What did I go off about?
Not gonna get into
what
that.
was it about?
It's okay. It's okay.
I did not yell at you.
You did. And you came and you stood at the bathroom door while I was trying to pee. And because I was not paying attention to you and I was trying to ignore you yelling, you went further. It was about me asking you about taking a bath. That's what it was about. Do you remember that?
But I didn't.
And yes, you did.
I did.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
I'm gonna let you have it.
And Keela said, "Yell at me again, Alex."
What gonna happen?
Just letting you know. Okay.
Man, y'all 1,000 miles away, and I beat all y'all up.
Really? Tamika said, I don't think my husband can hear. He may be borderline deaf. First of all, you need to stop. Don't do Rico like that. But I think in order for us to, like, non-negotiables, one of my non-negotiables would have been don't yell at me. But I wouldn't even be able to be in the marriage that I'm in with that non-negotiable because my husband don't know how not to yell. It's a part of his construct. But if
have I gotten better?
You're getting better.
Have I gotten better?
No, you're not past tense gotten. You're getting. You're in the present. This is an everyday thing for you.
Real?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I used to yell at you every day.
Several times a day.
And now I yell once a week.
That's better.
That's so much better.
Jamie said, don't yell at me. She'll pull up on you with her mask off. When you are yelling, no one hears the other. You're exactly right. Like Marilyn, when he starts yelling, I'm broken at that point because it's like, that's my breaking point. That's what gets me to the place where I'm no longer listening. So literally the Charlie Brown starts happening while he's talking and I see his lips moving and all I hear is wah, 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 wah. That's all I hear. Mika says Rico is calm, so he doesn't yell, but he's definitely hard of hearing. All that bass in the trunk ruined his ears. I don't think my husband is hard of hearing. He hears well. Extremely well. So this has nothing to do with being deaf. This has everything to do with him naturally being loud. So when he gets passionate or
this is what it is.
Angered about something or intense, when he feels really strong about something, his intensity levels go from 60, which is already very high, to 1,000. So it's extreme. But you know
what?
He's better with his yelling. But
I just said
somebody asked better with what? So I was merely answering the question. But we have to look at what are some other non-negotiables in your relationship, in your friendships that are a must. We talked about loyalty. We talked about...
what is loyalty? Like, we use all of these words that have, like, so many definitions, like disrespect. Like,
here's the thing. You can ask that, but that is going to be based on whatever that couple or that friendship or whoever their definition
but I was
of
just
it.
asking the people who said it to throw out what is loyalty to them.
That's going to even change in the group of who they're with.
But that's to them. That's their opinion.
Right. But you were about to make a whole ordeal about how we make these words like love and loyalty and blah, blah, blah.
We use these words.
And what do they really mean?
But we don't define them. That's my point.
My whole point, because you're trying to be right, when we're both making great points, just listen. You're not listening. Stop being defensive and listen.
Oh my God.
My whole point is that has to be defined in whatever relationship you're in.
And I asked the people who said it to define what it means to them.
I didn't disagree with you, but that's not going to mean the same thing necessarily to you. I was just
Who
trying to let you know
cares?
that.
I was trying to let them say what it means to them.
Okay.
You crazy. For real.
That's fine. Jabari says people from Pahokee are naturally loud. I know that. I've learned that. Marilyn says, I've been married 18 years. I will walk off and we can revisit the conversation when we can be civil. I totally agree with that, because what happens when people start getting hot-headed is they start saying things that they probably do mean, but they didn't want to come out in that conversation. And so it can get really, really ugly. So for me, it's best to just be quiet, because I don't want to say anything hurtful that I have to later apologize for, or I have to later recant. So that's all I was saying, Jabari, is that definitions change. Tamika said, loyalty for me is everything. Loyal for me means that you aren't fair weather. You are faithful and dependable. Shanika Cole says, stop listening to respond instead of actually taking into account what the other person is expressing. Exactly. And I recognize that works both ways. You have to be willing to not always be on the defense with everything. I know for a fact, a lot of times my husband is not listening to what I'm saying because he's already formulating his response in his head to what he thinks I'm going to say. And so when he's responding, it's like, but I didn't even say that. So you have to really be able to like listen intently. And that's why a lot of times like he doesn't like walking away from an argument or whatever, but it's really best to just walk away. We tried that whole, we've never been successful at the not going to bed mad thing. We've gotten better over the years, but everybody, when we first got married, everybody's like, make sure you don't go to bed mad. Make sure you don't go to bed mad. And I promise you, for like the first year and a half, every night somebody was going to bed mad. And it's like, I think they kind of cursed us or something, because this thing ain't working. But if you work actively to try to make sure that you're listening to what your partner is actually saying and not what you think they're saying, you can get so much more accomplished. You can get so much more out of your partner. Jabari said, saying, better that people think you are a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Absolutely. Yafet says, I get that I don't care about anything because I choose to be quiet. I refuse to talk when I'm upset. I know it will get me or her. It will get me or her anywhere. Probably it won't. It gets worse by me not talking, but I take that instead of saying the wrong thing. I think that is a great approach, because why say something that you're going to later have to apologize for? I try to be very, very choice with my words. I think it's critical that we make better choices with our words. Aisha says, loyalty for me is never having to second guess anything about you. That is deep and that is big. That's big. To never have to second guess anything about you. I can only say that I've only experienced that kind of loyalty from my girlfriends. I can't say that I've experienced that kind of loyalty from a man or from a relationship, like as far as a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, because I just can't, I can't say that, but that's deep. And so like with my girlfriends, my alliances, my friends, I can definitely say that I never have to second guess anything about them. Like I feel confident in knowing who they are. So that loyalty runs deep. And that's probably why our girl tribes and our relationships with our friends and our girlfriends are so strong, because you do build this bond. We would love to see that replicated in marriage, but I can't say for sure that I know that exists. But that's a hope. That's something to definitely work towards. Victor says, being willing to admit fault is a must-have. It takes humility to admit that you are wrong. Actually, humility and being willing to admit fault is definitely one of my non-negotiables. You got to say, I'm sorry. You got to be okay with apologizing and admitting you're wrong. Because I'm okay with saying, you know what, I was wrong. I apologize. I shouldn't have done that. Or even when I don't feel like I disrespected him, I'll still apologize and be like, I'm sorry that you felt disrespected, or you believe I disrespected you or intended to hurt your feelings. I'm sorry. So sometimes that's what a person just needs to hear. So admitting fault is a huge one. You have to be okay with saying, you know what, I was wrong, dead wrong. And I can give my husband credit in saying that he's come a very long way in admitting fault. Because it used to be times, and that would be the bulk of why we wouldn't communicate, is because he would have done something or been treated me like a child or yelled at me or been disrespectful, and because he felt like he wasn't, you know, he didn't acknowledge how I felt in that moment. And so me shutting down and not talking is like, okay, whatever, I'm done. But getting to a place where now he's like, you know what? I can't dictate or tell you how you felt when I did XYZ, so I apologize for how it made you feel. That doesn't mean that he's apologizing for what he said or what he did. It means that he's apologizing for making me feel a way as a result of his behavior. And that is a huge growth spurt from where it was like, I ain't apologizing to you. I'm not sorry for what I said. I said what I said and I meant it. That's very different, and it takes a level of maturity to be able to get to that place. So I'm grateful for that. Couture says, admit, apologize, and correct your wrong. Very true. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. Martin? You real quiet.
I'm like, y'all women here, I can't even read fast enough.
The men are agreeing. These are statements that came from Victor, who's a male, Jabari, who's a male, and Yafet, who are those are all men. Those are Victor's my guy, but your people.
Listen, those ain't the only people that been talking.
They're all on the same page, though.
All I was saying was, I don't forget what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
You sure, baby?
Yeah.
Do you have any other non-negotiables?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
So just faith and what was the other one?
Like, don't steal.
Okay, yeah, faith and stealing.
I don't know.
You didn't think it was gonna be this hard to come up with this, did you?
No,
You thought you were gonna be able to come up off the fly, right?
Yeah, I ain't think about it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it all week. And the reason I brought this topic to you is because a friend of mine, he and I were talking, and he was saying that in order for him to date a woman, she needed to establish some non-negotiables. What are some things that she's looking for in this relationship so he can know beforehand if he can do those things? Because he wants to know now, hey, I can do that, or no, I cannot do that. Let me go ahead and bow out gracefully because I'm not the guy you're looking for. And I like that, you know?
But I get the thought process, but there's a lot of things you can do for the right person.
Oh, he definitely said that. Like, for me, here's the thing. You don't want any more kids, right? Mm-hmm. I'm okay with having another child. God forbid you die, and I start dating someone else or something like that. I'm getting older. It's not off the table for me to have kids, but that's something I'm willing to say, you know.
So you gonna have another man, baby, if I die?
Why wouldn't I if I'm married to that person?
For real? You told me you ain't getting married no more.
Things change, Leon.
That's a shame. You just gonna kill me off, collect your insurance, and go marry somebody else?
Let me get to the comments. What questions did you ask about the relationship goals when you met each other? Oh, wow. I asked some good questions. I'll tell you in just a moment.
What questions you asked?
Jabari said faith was the biggest non-negotiable. If you're going to accept the apology, you can't keep dwelling on the old stuff. Either move forward, never backwards. Absolutely. With some people, some non-negotiables become less annoying. Agreed.
That's huge right there, what Marilyn said, because that's what happens a lot. You apologize, you attempt to move forward, and people are still spinning their wheels, stuck in the place that they are in.
Agreed, I've been there.
And so, it's like, what was the purpose? You feel like, what was the purpose of the apology? What was the purpose of trying to do better when you are still in the same place of where you were hurt or victimized or whatever you want to look at it? So it's like, okay, I apologize and I attempt to fix it when you're ready to accept it and move forward. So I just hold off on it because, I mean, it's worthless.
Yes, Tamika, love covers a multitude of sins. Jabari said that's true. The more you love someone, the easier it is to forgive and give in to some of those non-negotiables. So I agree with that. There are lots of things. We would not have our youngest if it wasn't for him giving in to having a baby with me. and kind of like culminating us, because he did not want any more kids. And it was kind of a non-negotiable. It was like, okay, look, like, that's something that I really want, and you have to make sure that you are addressing that. Jamie asked, what are some of the questions did you ask about relationship goals when you met each other? Okay, so we met each other almost 14 years ago. So it was a long time ago. I told him, because many people have heard the story of how we met, I literally told him the day that we met that I was not about the foolishness. I had just come out of a bad relationship, an engagement to be exact. I did not want to deal with a liar or somebody who was on some BS. So if you are coming to play games with me, leave me alone.
You didn't tell me all that.
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell me all that.
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell me all that.
Told you that on the phone on the way to Carrabba's. Yes, I did.
You did not tell me all that.
Because you was like, I said, listen. And then I went on to tell you, I was like, I don't live here. You know, you was like, I don't care nothing about that.
This is what you told me. It wasn't as passionate as you just said it. Because if you would have said it that passionate with that much vigor, I probably wouldn't have called you or nothing like that. Because you sound like you a little bit still hurt by what happened with old boy. I don't got nothing to do with that. This is what you told me. First of all, when I asked you for your phone number, and I spit my little game, you know what I mean? Shout out to Poker for training me right. And you was like, you ain't gonna call me anyway, so I don't even know why you asking for my phone number, because you ain't gonna call me and keep in touch. I don't live here. So why don't you just leave and not take my phone number? I said,
don't waste my time.
I said, who you talking to? You was like, you. I was like, you got the wrong man. Just give me the phone number. I'm gonna make it do what it do. You gave me the phone number. You said call me tomorrow.
You called me in 30 minutes.
You said because I'm with my family. I called you in 15 minutes.
True.
It wasn't 30 minutes.
True.
I walked out of the finish line, which was close to the exit of the mall. Once I exited the mall, I called you while walking to my car. And we began to talk right then. You was headed to Carrabba's. And you said, like, you really don't want to play phone tag and get involved with someone who's out of town if you ain't serious about me. And so then I said, well, I'm trying to get to know you, so I can
but I gave you up front everything.
Tell you if I'm serious.
But I gave you up front. I said, I'm not about any
gave me all that.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I said,
where you put it in, this is what happened.
I probably made it sound nicer.
You put it in a different drink. You know what I mean? Like, if you take a drink straight, it's a little bit stronger. But if you mix it and dilute it with some stuff, it could be very.
Oh, you was on 100% on your Mac though. You was like, oh baby, woo woo woo, this.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I fly and I do this. I fly and I do that.
I was doing my thing.
Yeah, but you were so busy just trying to respond to me, you probably weren't listening.
Because
I know what I said. Because
you ain't talking to me like that.
No, listen. When I got off the phone, both of my brothers was like, damn sis.
No.
You ain't gonna even get a man a chance.
You ain't even talk to me like that.
Yes, I did.
Because I would have snapped.
That wasn't you. You never snapped on me until I moved here 6 years ago. The Dialis that I met 14 years ago was soft and cuddly and kind. The man that I met when I moved here 6 years ago was not that person. You were a cactus.
Well, a cactus?
Yeah. Prickly and sticky and hard.
I'm just saying, though, I was a different person.
I agree.
I had been through
I agree. So pause and think about who you were 14 years ago.
But 14 years ago, you weren't talking to me like that.
Yes, I was.
The only thing I ever stood on was like, you're not gonna disrespect me like that.
I didn't disrespect you.
Yeah, you made it sound sweet.
First of all, you the man that you are now and have been for the last 6 years is not the man that I met again. I'm gonna say that. Keela can attest to that. Blair can attest to that. Tamika can attest to the man that you were then is not the same human that you are now.
So the other person was better.
No, the other person was nicer.
So the other person was better.
The other person was kind.
So the other person was better.
The other person was the other person.
So you want the other person?
I got who I got.
I ain't asked you that. I asked you, do you want the other person?
I can't have the other person. That person no longer exists.
They exist.
No, you don't.
I put him in the closet.
Where the hell he been in?
Because.
So you mean to tell me you've been holding him by who? I didn't abuse you.
By humans.
So that ain't even a topic. That's not even a topic. 14 years later, his ego of how you talk to him then is agitated now. That's what it sounds like, right, sis?
Whatever.
And I agree, Jabari, he was never rough when I met him years ago. This new being is like, I don't even understand it. She said that Mac game came from McDowell's. Y'all crazy. But seriously, we were talking. Let me tell you. So I told him exactly what I had been through, how I was feeling, because I needed him to understand the situation of how I ended up in Atlanta. Like, I had just moved to Atlanta, and I didn't really move. It was just like I was in a very strange place in my life. So I know I was very open with him because I did not even know where I was going or what I was doing myself. And so I told him that. And my brothers were like, there is no way this guy's going to call you again. And I said, you know what? If he doesn't, I'm okay with that too, because I know I got some work on me to do. And guess what? He called a couple days later. You called by the time I made it back to Atlanta, you called. And I was like, okay. Trying not to get my hopes up, because I'm like, I don't know about this. Because nobody wants to be in a too good to be true type situation. You know what I'm saying?
So I was too good to be true?
Yeah, very much so.
For real?
Yeah.
You were too good to be true.
Hey, what can I say? Oh no, Jabbar, we both changed. Dallas had a lot to do with my change.
Huh?
You did.
How?
You left.
What I got to do
You
with that?
disappeared.
So what? So I made you change? How about you?
I'm about to cuss you on live.
How about you made you change?
How did I make you change?
When I left, you did things that changed you.
You're right, but I don't feel like I changed for the worse. I actually feel like I got better.
That's what you feel like.
That's what I feel.
Well, we all have our own feelings.
We do. I'm better as a whole.
I feel like I got better. You said
you got better for you. I got better for everyone around me.
How? You going crazy.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying. But Jabbar, yes, we all changed. I learned how to be who I am and acknowledge that and embrace that and not let the things that I've been through harden me. I cannot speak for what Alex became or who he is.
I am who I am.
You are, and I love you regardless. I love you.
I ain't asked you that. You love doing that.
I
said,
you.
I don't like who I am. You tell me you love me every time.
Let me tell you.
I said, baby, you like me. I love you. Baby, you like me.
Okay,
I
can you stop talking for just a second? Okay, well then I won't answer the question.
Go ahead.
You ready for me to answer the question?
Go ahead.
Do I like you?
No.
You gonna let me answer the question or not?
Yeah.
I do like you.
For
the most part.
For real.
I do. Like, I love and like your sense of humor. I like the way you are when you do things.
You know how you lie? Like you are a terrible liar.
That's why I don't do it. But I'm not lying, though. I do like you.
Oh, my God.
I do like you.
Lie
There's a lot of things that I don't like about you.
Yeah, most of the stuff.
But, no, not most of the stuff. There's a lot of things that I like about you, but those things that I like about you, I don't just like about you. I love about you. I love your sense of humor. And to me, love is way more powerful than like. I like who you are and who you are becoming now and transforming. Popeye, I am what I am. You're right. I think that love and like, and we talked about this years ago, love and like are two different dynamics, and you value like more than love, and I value love more than like. And
no,
that's
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I value respect more than I value love.
Okay.
That's
and I think if you love me, then you'll respect me.
I think if you respect me, you'll fall in love with me.
No, I respect a lot of people that I don't love.
No, you don't.
I do.
You tolerate people. There's a difference. You don't respect.
For me, respect is tolerance.
No.
For me, you can't see. That's what we always bump heads. You can't tell me how I feel about a specific topic. If I say that for me, respect is tolerance, then for me it is.
You're absolutely correct.
I'm just saying.
I apologize. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Jabbar said, "Michelle, you lying. We want the truth." I do genuinely like and love him. The things that I don't like, I can be honest, were things like he tends to tell a few fibs.
I don't lie. I just don't answer questions that are not asked. You like.
But I ask questions.
No, you don't.
No, can I finish? Let me finish. I ask questions, and instead of answering them, you'll get upset that I asked a question and deflect, and so I never get the answer to my question.
I answered the question.
No, you don't.
Want me to answer the question, and you ask questions that terminate.
I like that, Jabari. Jabari says, I value love over all. I love everyone, but I love my wife. That's beautiful. I be wanting to hear like stuff like that. Like, here's the difference. I'm a words affirmation person. I like to hear that you love me, and I like to hear that you appreciate me in that way. So
okay, let me sing.
Shanika Nicole just called again. There goes that telling you what you feel or think again. That's my life every day. Is somebody telling me what I feel and what I think.
I'm about to sing to you. You ready?
Go for it.
Shanika Nicole, shut up. I'm so sick of you jumping in to what's going on and making things worse than what they are. I didn't tell her how she felt. I simply said I didn't agree with her definition of respect.
You can disagree with my definition of respect, but you don't get to tell me what my definition of respect is. You don't have to agree with it, but my definition is still mine.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is I don't lie to you, and you bait me and call me a liar, but you ask questions and I answer. Where were you?
Well, let me not say lie. I have a problem with his lack of transparency.
Yeah. Now, see, that I can agree with.
Tamika says, I need you to love me, not be in love with me, because we can fall out of love. You can sour on my stomach, but I can definitely get past stuff. Yes, baby. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Jabbar said, I'm a words of affirmation person as well. Michelle, you ain't going to bed mad tonight. No. I haven't gone to bed mad in quite some time. I haven't. You go to bed mad all the time. I don't be mad. I be too tired to be mad. For what?
Okay. Remember that now. Don't remember it.
Last time I went to bed mad, I actually wasn't even mad when you cussed me out on Monday.
I didn't cuss you out.
You did.
Oh my God. You
were you not? I think, you know what?
I think you weren't there.
No, I think you weren't there.
I think
I think you have outer body experiences when you be going off. And everything in me wants to record you so you can really hear and see what you do.
I wish you would have, because you would have understood this is what happened.
No, we're not finna go there.
Why?
Because we're not.
Okay.
We're not.
I can tell people what.
No, we're not gonna tell people what happened.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
Okay.
I genuinely don't want to, and I don't want to even get into that. You shouldn't tell me how I feel.
I'm not.
Like, I think if we could get to a place.
I'm telling you how you feel.
Oh God, will you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't like the way you and Shanika Nicole have been bullying me the last 4 lives. Y'all some
How are we bullying you?
So right now, I'm gonna cast that to the sea and let it go.
Thank you. Thank you, Shanika Nicole. You got through to him.
You guys are straight bullies.
We're bullies because it's not fair or not helpful for you to tell me how I think and feel.
You feel how you feel. However you feel is genuine and real.
And they're my feelings. You don't have to agree with them.
They are your feelings.
But you must respect that they're mine.
They are yours.
Thank you.
I will
you can't get an answer from him. He just told us he has an issue with the lack of transparency. So muddy as the water.
Said that.
Keela.
She
said, me and Chris need to start doing reaction videos to your lives. This is the free therapy session I didn't know we needed.
No, listen. This is what happens, Keela. You ask a question, I answer the question. That's it. What she wants you to do is add everything to it when she asks the question. So I just answer the question. And if you missed the last live, and the live before, my wife and Tamika should have took the same classes in college. Because they're both lawyers.
Whatever.
They both interrogate people and figure out the truth within it. So, I'm just saying, when they start asking questions that don't really fit what's going on, or questions that are too detailed, and then my response is, what the hell do you really want to know?
Let me keep it all the way 1,000 with you. And the reason that D'Alex does not like the questions that I ask is because he comes from a very negative point of view. Meaning that his mind always goes to the worst case scenario. So if I say, what did you do today? Can I finish? You're always on defense. Okay. And if you're always on defense, then there is never a question that I can ask that does not feel like an interrogation. And that is dangerous. So what do? I am learning to not ask questions.
No, but you don't ask questions. You got to tell the people what type of questions you ask.
I will tell you. The thing about it doesn't matter. What I could ask you, hey, what are you watching? You'd be like, Queen of the South. When did you start watching that? This morning. How many episodes have you watched? I mean, damn, why I gotta tell you all that? And it's always what you trying to figure out?
No,
like,
I'll be like,
oh, whatever.
I'm on episode 6. You'll say
No.
something like, so you just gonna watch the whole thing without me?
No.
And I'm like, what?
No.
I didn't know I had to clear with you before
No.
I watch something.
No,
but
literally,
we always watch the show
before we
together.
get there,
Yeah.
you've already formulated in your mind.
And I be
that
right.
No, you don't.
What about the times when I'm right?
97% of the
No.
time you are wrong.
What about the times when I'm right? When you like, oh, you just gonna start watching the show without me? I'm like, you just could have said that from the beginning instead of asking.
I
all
did
these
say
questions.
that the other night when I felt that way.
No.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
How to get away with murder? I did. I said exactly what I was thinking and feeling. The
Exactly.
difference is every other time you assume that's what I'm thinking
but
and
you
feeling.
come
And
in
I'm
and
not.
ask a bunch of questions.
Because I can. Really, I can't. But I ask questions because I'm trying to generate conversation.
No,
and I
you're
told
not.
you that I was how
You
you gonna
trying-
tell me? Here you go again.
What I'm telling you trying to get to the point of me watching this. It's
I'm not.
how you used to do. It wasn't the other day. But we'll take How to Get Away with Murder. You'll come in and be like, what are you watching? How to Get Away with Murder. How many episodes have you watched? And that night, this is what I told you because that's how you
Keela,
usually
you
are.
are so right. She says you shouldn't have to learn to ask. You shouldn't have to learn not to ask questions. That's your husband, but I have. But I have learned to not ask
listen.
questions.
Some of these questions get real like, what?
You know what? Tamika said, I'm very transparent, so I expect others to be the same. I'm not trying to interrogate. I'm just overly interested. Same, Mika. But with him, I can call Tamika and I can sit on the phone, and our whole conversation will go on for hours, even with Keela, asking questions. Mm-hmm. That's what drives the conversation. So what happened next, girl? Oh, my gosh. And then what? Okay, so tell me, and this is the way our conversation goes.
No.
When I talk to my husband, my conversation has now been restricted to, did you have a good day?
You lie so much. Like, we talk all the
Yeah.
time. Okay, don't worry about it.
When is the last time I asked you about something that you did? And it led to something positive?
I just tell you.
When?
When we start talking. If you let me talk, I'm going to tell you about it.
Baby, I have never restricted you from talking ever. You are the dominant person of communication in our home.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Usually, I'm listening to you
Never.
say your piece.
You're
'cause
never listening.
whatever I'm going to say is, it's going to be anti whatever you said. So you're going to end the conversation. Every time. So, if you let me talk about my day and what happened, I'll clue you in. When you come in with a whole
I don't
bunch-
ask yes, no questions, though, Jabari. I ask, truly open-ended questions
No, you
that
don't.
he still finds a way to just answer a
No,
yes or
you
no.
ask me, where did you go? To Chef House. What else you want me to say? But what you were like is, oh, I left here, I hung a right on so-and-so. Did you know I saw so-and-so, a little so-and-so running across the street and everything else? And then, guess what happened? The light did not change for 6 straight minutes. I was just sitting at the light.
Now, what amazes me is you'll go live on Facebook or do a Snapchat about the very things that you don't like for me to ask about.
Like what?
Man, let me tell you about this whole thing I went through today and I experienced this and blah, blah, blah. This is you talking to your Facebook audience and you'll give a whole description of your whole day.
Yeah.
But if I ask the same question, it's problematic.
Just let me tell you. You come in with a whole bunch of questions, I'm going to tell you. But you come in
If I
with
don't ask you a
laundry
question,
list of
you're not going to say nothing to me.
Okay. You
Like,
right.
let's keep it real. Like,
You're right.
when the last time you just came and said, hey, let me tell you what went on today? Never.
That's
You've
lying.
never done that.
I tell you about my day all the time. All the time. You be so busy because I leave out who I was with or what time it happened. So you want these
I don't care about the
clarifying
time
questions.
something happened,
You
ever.
do.
No, I don't.
You be want to know every little minute detail because you said that's who you are, so you can put it together. You can't really put the whole thing together if certain things are left out.
If you
So you're
talk
trying
about
to
something
piece
being
the puzzle piece
in
together.
Miami.
No, you just said you don't do that.
Can you
so
let me
which one
make a
is it?
statement?
Which one is it?
If you talk about something being in Miami and something you did in Palm Beach Gardens and it doesn't make sense to me, it's like, how did you do something in Miami and do something in Palm Beach Gardens? That's when time matters. Other than that, I don't care anything about time. See, you was about to get defensive and you didn't even know what I was about to say. You got to learn to listen, bro.
I don't even know what you were talking about.
He said, Candace said, I don't appreciate my husband laughing. He's relating to Mr. Martin a little too well.
I'm telling you.
I didn't accuse him of anything, Jabari. I really didn't.
Man, listen. When you see the line of questioning that I get,
Maybe I don't even ask you no more questions. I don't care.
No more.
I no longer care
No
what
more.
you do.
No more.
I genuinely don't.
no more.
No more.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
don't care.
But
I feel like that's what you wanted me to get to. So,
But
it's
in the
been
beginning,
successful.
what happened?
In the beginning, I asked questions and it
1,000
but
questions.
it caused nothing but fights and a lot of sexless nights. Fights, sexless nights. That's all we got from me asking questions. So it took me years to stop asking questions. So I no longer ask them.
So, because I just tell you.
You can say if I'm not going to tell you what you think or believe, I'm going to tell you in my reality. You don't tell me anything. But if that's
Okay.
what you think and believe, that is your belief.
Okay.
So I respect that. But a non-negotiable for me, it seems like he's anticipating accusations. He is.
Because they happen.
Is. Keela says Michelle enjoys storytelling. She likes details. I am at a literature and an
Oh, my
oratorical
God.
buff.
You know what?
So yes, I love storytelling. I love listening.
It's amazing how women could just join behind each other and create this whole little web of everything. And it sounds,
That is one of my
it
closest
sounds so
friends.
amazing.
That's not a random rape person. That's one of my closest friends.
What I got to do with
So
anything?
she knows things
Is she
about
a woman?
me. She could be a man. It would not matter. She knows that I love stories.
But
Go ask
she's
any
a
of my
woman.
male friends, and they'll tell you.
Okay.
Michelle loves a story. She loves to hear details. She loves to know. Even when I was talking to my homeboy about his trip out of town, he was giving me all the details. Like, man, for real, that happened. Oh my God! And it was so animated and so detailed. And I'm sitting there giggling and laughing because that's interesting to me.
Okay.
You literally make it seem like everything you do outside of our home is boring.
I don't never make a scene.
Oh, you do. You do because you don't ever want to make it seem like you had so much fun because then I'm going to be jealous of your fun when I really don't care.
Oh,
like,
you do?
I've moved past the point of caring.
Oh, you do?
Okay.
You used to argue because I had fun outside the house.
I argued with you about having fun outside the house.
Yes. How could you forget this when you like, why don't you ever do the fun things with me?
I did ask, why don't you ever do fun things
What?
with me?
Okay.
But that's not arguing that you
You
had
right.
fun. It's like, damn, you ain't got enough fun to spread around?
You right.
Seriously?
Okay.
But when's the last time I asked you? Like, I don't care anymore. I'm over it. Team Michelle, forget you, D. Alex. Then he's with, you don't know what you want to be with Jabari. You flip-flopping. Yafet said they can just pop up and get right in the rhythm. It baffles me how they can do it. I'd rob a bank with a lady before a man. That's right. Because you let your friends tell the story. I let D. Alex tell the story, but he doesn't tell a story. He doesn't come and say, hey, this is going on or this is what happened. He's only going to give the bare minimum of anything. And so I'm actually bored with his stories at this point because he doesn't give a good story. He doesn't tell any details. It's like, oh, I just went and did, I drove by this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's funny is like you will talk to your other friends and have this big animated story that's so entertaining. And I'm like, I'll just catch it on the back end when you're talking to somebody else. Couture said being inquisitive isn't a crime. It is if you live in our home. Have an honest talk about your similarities.
She's anti everything I am.
I'm actually not, but okay.
She's anti everything.
What? Give me an example. What am I anti?
Everything.
Give an actual example because everything is not realistic. There are no absolutes.
Everything. What?
So you can't name one thing that I'm anti.
People see it every time we get on.
So you can't name one single thing that I'm anti?
Yeah.
What? Name one.
TV.
I love TV. I just don't like the TV that you like.
Exactly. That's what. Bingo.
I'm not anti-TV,
You're right.
Alex. I don't want to sit up and watch people be murdered on every episode of everything.
Okay.
Like, that does something to my psyche. I'm not a psychopath, so I have to watch things that
So am
deal
I
with
a
my heart.
psychopath?
I said I'm not a psychopath. That doesn't
So
imply
which-
that you are. That means that
what
I'm
does it
not.
imply?
It implies that I'm not.
So a person that watches it would be a psychopath.
No, it means that I'm not a psychopath.
Why would you mention a psychopath if no one?
Because I cannot deal with watching people be murdered over and over again on like every episode or every movie of everything. That does not do anything for my person. So as a person, I have to watch things that appeal to me. It doesn't mean that I hate TV. Now, you could have said she hates or she's anti shoot 'em up bang bang movies, and that would have been accurate. But how many shoot 'em up bang bang movies have I watched with you?
Tons.
Tons. Why?
Because that's what I'm gonna watch.
Because that's what you like. And so in order for me to get my bucket filled and have quality time, I put aside the fact that I don't like those movies and I watch them with you.
But I watch the little foo-foo movies with you.
How many foo-foo movies have you watched? You probably count them on one hand.
No, I've watched more than that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever you want to watch, we watch.
No.
Like what?
No.
You want me to pull up thing and go through the list of all the foo-foo movies I watch?
That's unnecessary, but you can
Exactly.
pull up whatever you want to pull up if you feel like it's to prove a
The
point and be
foo-foo
right.
movies with you, I watched. I don't even watch all this love and at the end of the day they're gonna be together. Like, I'm really not into fairy tales.
Jabari, is so much bigger than the TV that I like, but because I watch 90% of the TV that I watch with him because I prefer to read or do something else. But if I'm watching TV, I'm watching it with him and I'm watching something that he enjoys. So for him to say that I'm anti-TV, I've sacrificed. I've watched and done the thing that you enjoy, even though you claim I'm anti-TV.
You don't like it.
I don't like what?
The TV I watch.
What does that have to do with anything?
It has to do with the fact that you're anti the type of TV I watch.
But I
Period.
still sit and watch it with you.
I ain't say you don't do it. You would do it.
So how does it make me anti? Help me understand.
You just said you don't like it.
But how does it make me anti if I still do it and watch it with you? Make it make sense.
What you mean make it make sense?
It doesn't make sense, baby.
I don't want you to watch stuff you don't want to watch. That don't do nothing for me.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the comments.
You've been into the comments. You got a whole...
Jamie says, will you do the same, Dialis? Do you ask questions? Dialis, he does not ask questions because he doesn't want questions to be asked. So I can answer that one for
All
you.
you got to do... The lady asked the question to me.
Go ahead.
No, I don't ask all them questions. Like, you tell me what happened. All right, cool. That's it.
I just said that.
No, but you had to put your caveat on it. You ain't say, no, he don't ask me questions like that. You said, oh, he don't ask
Why
questions.
don't you ask questions?
And the reason he don't ask questions is because he don't want questions asked to him.
But you told me that a number of times.
I don't ask questions because you going to tell me what you want to tell me, so just tell me.
Okay.
I'm going to let you tell me.
You said, name something he doesn't watch with you, Michelle. I don't ask him to watch a lot of TV with me, so...
Man, I watch everything you watch.
Okay. Dallas, you gotta watch I'm Gonna Get You Sucker with her. No, I'd rather watch that by myself, sis. Rachel said, there's no way in hell a man will ever understand a woman. We have to give it our best effort and go from there. And all we ask for is effort. That's it, y'all fat.
Man.
What shows do you watch, Alex? What is the shows you watch? We watched a terrible movie last week.
I was just trying to find a random movie. I didn't know what the movie was going to be about.
I didn't accuse you of anything. I just said it was a terrible movie. You couldn't agree that it was terrible?
It was beyond terrible.
Oh, okay, that's all I was saying.
But I watch a lot of different shows. I watch a lot of sci-fi, a lot of action.
He won't watch Grey's Anatomy with me, Jabari.
I've watched Grey's Anatomy with you. I've watched at least 20 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. 20. I can tell you everything that was going on with these little foo-foo people.
You know how many episodes there are of Grey's Anatomy, sweetheart?
I've watched 20.
There are 16 seasons. 20 episodes don't even cover a season. I did not say.
You
haven't even watched a season of Grey's Anatomy with me.
I didn't. You ain't watched a season of nothing with me.
What? We've watched whole series. What are you talking about?
Like what?
Baby.
Like what?
How many series have we watched? I can't even sit and name all the series we've watched together. Really? Do I need to pull up the Netflix or pull
Just
up
name one. You don't got to go through all that. Name
I
one.
literally don't even remember every show we've watched because we watched. Okay, fine. Since you want to be petty.
No,
because I don't like when you do me like that because you know I've watched plenty of series with you. The entire series.
No, we haven't.
Really, dear?
The only series that we've watched together is a series that we wanted to watch.
What example is that?
The Shy.
Okay.
We wanted to watch that.
Who started watching The Shy?
I did. And
I came and joined you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's a series that you picked that we watched together.
You actually enjoy it.
Okay. Sometimes. Who says I'm going to not enjoy everything? That's what you don't understand. It's not about not enjoying
what
stuff.
What is it? 911?
Okay. Let's see.
Who started watching 911?
Probably you.
I did.
Okay. I don't do reality shows either.
Yeah, I don't do reality shows. You're not going to get me.
Shanika Nicole says, if I turn on what I like 8 times out of 10, a bit putting headphones in and tuning me out, quality time is over. There goes that McDowell's explanation. We need to stream together with my wife sometime. Sure, Jabari, just let us know when. We'll definitely do it. It's a mess, but we got to get to a place where a lot of the non-negotiables that I know I had initially before I got in this marriage, I've probably have let go or whatever. And I try to just love the person.
Would you take them to another marriage?
I don't know what I would do in another marriage.
If you
I
just
know
said
that another
you just
marriage.
said you would have a baby in another marriage.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
So let's what?
I said absolutely.
I need to talk to you when you turn the camera off.
Okay.
We gotta have a conversation.
Okay.
All right. Next is if you know you will have a baby in another marriage, are there any non-negotiables that you don't apply here because I'm with the riffraff that you would take somewhere else and apply?
Depends on the person. I can't establish some non-negotiables right now based on a relationship that doesn't exist.
But it's a non-negotiable, so it doesn't
I
really
would want
matter.
transparency.
It doesn't really matter if you're in a relationship.
I just gave you
or
one,
not.
transparency.
What else?
That's loyalty.
What does that mean? What does that look
I
like?
have to determine what it looks like in that relationship because I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So each relationship is
No
different.
yelling. Absolutely no yelling.
Absolutely. No
Absolutely no yelling.
yelling. Okay.
So that's
this,
4. I just gave you
This
4.
like your dream guy.
I don't know.
He don't yell. He's transparent. He's loyal. And what else?
I don't know.
You said it was 4.
Oh, a baby.
Oh, and a baby. And he make babies.
Yeah.
So if I give you a baby, become transparent, stop yelling, and was loyal,
You're pretty loyal.
I'll be the perfect husband.
You're pretty loyal, baby.
Now I ain't worried about all
And you've
that.
already given me a baby.
Yeah. So what you?
You 2 out of 4.
So what's the other ones?
Transparent
Transparent
and not yelling.
not yelling. I don't think I can ever stop yelling.
Okay.
But
I'm okay with that. That's the non-negotiable I've given up to be with you.
I will. You sound like you just gave up a whole lot.
I mean, I'm okay.
But I don't yell as much.
You don't. I agree.
So
I gave you credit earlier about not yelling as much. You just said you'll probably never stop yelling, and I'm more on leaning that direction so that I don't become disappointed. Because I don't want to set an expectation for you that cannot be achieved. So if you eventually stop yelling, then kudos. I'm proud of you. But if you don't, then I'll still love you.
For real?
Yeah.
Regardless.
I've loved you in spite of anyway. Oh, goodness. What did you scream about, Candace? Oh, with absolutely, yeah. What are some other non-negotiables, babe?
I don't know.
That's really not a long list, like Yafet.
Man, that's a long list, man. That's a lot.
You already gave me the baby, so it's cool.
You want another baby, though. Just don't bring no penguins in our house. Just know that.
Not getting on that tonight.
Not getting on what? Penguins?
Penguins, yeah.
You better not bring no penguin in here. I'm just saying.
What are your non-negotiables, sir?
I gave them to you. I can't think.
You can't think. So even after all this discussion, you still didn't come up with, oh.
No, I can't think, man. That's just like you can't talk to me reckless. Like I can't take that.
But this is the funny thing about that.
Oh God.
The funny thing about that is
you know you never listen to me. Okay. I'm done though. You go ahead. You do your thing. We're not gonna sit here and be quiet and let these people see us be petty. So you're gonna talk, and then we'll address it after the camera goes.
No,
on.
you said you don't want to be talked reckless to. But when you're in a playful mood, that's exactly how you like to be talked to.
Yeah, I'm talking about when you serious.
So,
But
how
playful
do you
is
get to
playful.
dictate that?
Playful is playful. You know when people serious. Like, why does everything is so black and white with you?
Yeah.
Like, there's gray in all of this. So, if we are having a serious conversation, don't speak to me in that manner. If we joking around, then we joking around. The same way if I'm yelling at you, arguing and yelling at you, and I'm serious, and I'm going off and you like blah, 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 I'm never going to put my hands on you. But if we playing around, you can get smacked. Because we playing. So I'll slap your butt, slap you upside the head, try to run.
But you know what happens every time we play?
You get hurt?
No, you get hurt.
No, you get hurt.
No,
that's because you don't know how to play. You bust my lip.
You get hurt every time we play.
No, that's because this your opportunity to foul me. And because I'm not mad, you know I'm not going to hurt you.
That's not my mindset.
Yeah.
So
how do you punch people in the mouth? Like a literal fist in the mouth. How you do that?
First of all, nobody has punched you in the mouth.
That's my God. And you lied to the people.
I death gripped you.
And I told your mama.
I death
No, that was the other day when you grabbed my neck. I'm talking about when you punched me in my mouth. Pow. And I told your mama.
I did not punch
yes,
you. Why
you did.
Are you lying?
You
I
did.
did not punch you.
And I told your mama, I'm a better husband. Your daughter be beating on me. You don't remember me telling your
I
mama
remember
that?
you lying to my mom.
Oh, lying to your mama. You just hit me right in my mouth. Bust my lip and everything. You told me I got soft lips.
You do.
What I got? Your lip gonna bust anyway.
But I
If somebody
didn't
punch
punch you in your lip though, D. Alex.
My lip just happened to be bleeding.
I mean, sometimes they be chapped and real dry and they break apart like that, but I didn't bust you in your lip. Real talk, I did not.
Wow. Okay.
I did not bust you in your lip. Real talk.
Okay.
I'm
But
sorry.
that's why people end up hurt when playing with you. Because you always do something over the top. Like, I'll grab you and then squeeze you, put you on the bed, lay you down gently. You grab me, fold me up, my knee get to popping and everything. You to my
So you sitting on this live telling these people that I, little 5'3" me, have folded grown man you
I'm
up.
sitting on the bed, not expecting you to be aggressive. I'm thinking I'm finna catch you and play like, oh, and you just explode on me. I'm like, whoa, we were just playing. What you doing? So that's why I'm playing with you right there. Cause see, I have to hurt you real quick to let you know I'm grown. Cause you do some stuff that don't
This
make
man
sense.
lying.
How my lips start bleeding?
I don't know how your lips started bleeding.
Yeah, all right.
You just lying though. Jabari said, never put your hands on somebody's face. Death grip. Practice what you're preaching with your tone. If you yell at her around me, my mask coming off.
Man, Jamie, man, you 5'1", so you know you don't stand. No, you 4'11", you don't stand a chance.
This man is a mess. I hope that you all, right? Keela said, "Diaz, you getting folded up."
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm just sitting there thinking we're playing, Keela, and next thing you know, she go all out. Now fold me up, and I'm like, for real, this is what we gonna do?
That couldn't be further from the truth. I got bad knees and everything.
Okay, all right.
Couldn't be further from the
I
truth.
got something for you.
But see, he always making these threats.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You good? I'm gonna show you. Since you want to act like I'm just gonna put the camera up and I'm gonna show the people. That's what
First
I'm
time
gonna do.
say your safe word.
Yeah, see that? I need one. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna put the camera up and I'm gonna show the people how you really act. It's gonna be a sneak.
You know what? It's gonna be just like when them kids did that prank on you, and you got to see how you really act. It's gonna backfire on you.
It ain't gonna backfire.
Okay.
Because people don't know that you be trying to put me in all these different moves.
I never come at you on no aggressive type stuff.
I always want to play with you.
Okay.
And you always take it to a whole nother place. No one ever said you not playful.
Baby, you come in. You tickle me to the point that your claws are digging into me.
I come in and be like, what you doing?
Right. Like, why would you do that? See, you
And then
play
thing
too
you know,
much.
soon as
I'ma
I'm like,
take you.
soon as I'm like, hey,
I'ma
you
use
like,
all my self-defense.
You got my arms. I'm like, really, you just gonna break my wrist like that? And I'm still laughing because it ain't hurting, but you got me in the mood. And so what you do? Spin it all the way around just to see if it's gonna crack free. And I'm like, are you serious?
I don't even know that move.
You lying?
I don't even do that.
See what you said? I'm gonna use all my self-defense tactics.
Right. I'm
And I'm
supposed
like-
to. I have to defend myself.
But I'm not even being aggressive. I'm
He
playing.
said the safe word is pineapple.
No, that's Kevin Hart word. Pineapple. When you 6 foot, you don't use pineapple. That's different. He 4'11". You gotta have
Whatever,
a different
sir.
word. Gotta have a
You
different
crazy.
word.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm just saying. But your non-negotiables though, you need them, and they'll change. Mm-hmm. They'll change over the life of your relationship.
Yep.
But you should come in with some that'll establish how you desire to be treated. Because if you don't have any, then you kind of like allow people to treat you however they treat you, and you reacting on the fly, and they don't really have a guide to meet you where you are. So non-negotiables can be real cool. My only advice is they should be limited to 5 or less. Anything over 5 is really not a non-negotiable. It's just something that you just throwing in there just to throw it in. So 5 or less is actually something you thought about. Because even if her asking me tonight, I haven't given you 5, because if they're going to be non-negotiables, it's going to be something that's very important towards the life of the relationship, not just something superficial so I can get my jollies off or to make things convenient for me. It's more of things that are really, really important to you. So with that, I think you should list them to 5 or less, limit them to 5 or less, and take some time to think about them. Because most people don't think about them, and they just randomly rip off, the stuff that everybody else said. When you're an individual, everything should be unique and set up just for you and your mate. That's my take on it.
I actually agree with you.
Really?
They definitely need to be something that, one, not too much, not too many.
What?
They definitely need to be something that is, when you think of non-negotiable, it's got to be something you cannot live without.
Okay.
Meaning that you take some time and actually think about the way it's going to impact your relationships, or the way that if it doesn't happen, it's going to impact you. So I totally agree with you. You did good, Mr. Marion.
What?
Yeah, you did. You did. Look at you all growing and such. We enjoyed you
that
guys.
That boy said 3-9. That boy is crazy.
We enjoyed
Jamie,
you
finally
guys.
gave me some credit.
Who?
Jamie, about time.
Of course. She said yes, the Alex. We are so grateful that you all chose to spend your Thursday night with us. We hope that you'll come back and enjoy us next week, when we probably going to get into something way deeper. So we do enjoy the time that we spend with you. We hope you had a great evening this evening.
You won't give out next week's topic?
Okay. We're going to do some teasers throughout the week next week.
Okay. I feel you. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless y'all. Peace.